It used to be really hard to talk about suicide. And for most of us, which is why on the opening picture, I have my hand like this, is that we're told to keep it to ourselves. We're told to not share our suicidal thoughts or intentions. It's a sign of weakness. That's what we've been told. I'm going to share with you today my experiences, why I wanted out of this world so bad, why I didn't do it, how I got the help to still be here today, which is quite miraculous. And the story is a miracle. But I want you to know this. If you are suffering or entertaining suicidal thoughts, damaging thoughts, reach out to a professional today, please. If I can help you, I'd love to. If it's not me, there are millions of well-intentioned professionals that would love to help you work through it. I'm David Essel. This is David Essel's Daily Video Boost, a free video subscription that you can sign up for at talkdavid.com. Remember to take notes. And I'm going to go slowly with this video because it's such an important point to make. And I really want to spread the seed of hope. Don't trust this when we're talking about any topic. Always take notes. The concept of suicide was never a part of my life until around 1990. I'd been through a lot of hell in life and gone through all kinds of struggles in life, but it wasn't until 1990 that it reached a crescendo. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I had in 1989, I had just finished one of the best years of my life. I was traveling 45 weeks a year as a motivational speaker. And a group approached me and said that they would like to take over my speaking gigs. And they said they can make me more money. They'll do all the work. My staff doesn't have to do work. And that was 1989, early in the year. And I said, absolutely. So we stopped booking. As a professional speaker, you usually book 6 months to a year in advance. But I told my team, you know what, this other company has it. We're good to go. In 1990, on just around the first of the year, I hadn't heard from them in a couple months. So I reached out saying, hey, it's after the first of the year and I need to get on the road speaking and make money and got a whole staff that I pay, and went on and on and on. And they responded back saying they had changed their business model and they weren't going to help me. Now, this is after we had agreed in a written contract. So I told them that my attorney would be contacting them. And they said, if that's the case, they'll go bankrupt. And they would have. And here I was stuck and eventually down to about $200 in my name. Lost, totally lost. I couldn't figure out how to get my business back. I had let it go for a year, assuming someone else was going to do it. The assumption was a huge part of the problem, but it wasn't the only one. I had been masking a large depression for years with drugs and alcohol. So I had very low self-esteem and self-confidence, which is really incredible thinking that up until 1990, well, from 1980 to 1990, the first 10 years of my business, I was traveling, always in a great mood. You know, every time I'd see someone, it would just be a big hug and how you doing? Oh my God, I'm doing awesome. But I had to medicate to fall asleep. I ended up starting to drink large amounts of alcohol, never during my work, never during sessions or lectures or anything like that. But I did it to sleep, to quiet the voices, to get rid of the depression. And it worked part-time, but it couldn't do it all. And so then in 1990, I started having these doubts about me wanting to be in this world. And when the business pulled out and I had no money coming in and I'm down to $200 to my name, I decided to go to a store and get materials necessary to take my own life. And during that time, when I had gotten these materials, I knew the day and the time I was going to do it. I was so hurt, so sad, so misaligned, so filled with depression and anxiety. I had no other idea of what to do. I didn't think there were any other options. On the day that I was going to do this, that I was going to commit suicide, I woke up with the intention to follow through. And as we got closer to the time to do it, I couldn't. So I started calling for help. I called every psychiatrist in the town that I was living in, and no one was free for 3 months. It got closer to 5 o'clock, and I was really going crazy. I hadn't drank anything all day. I just knew I needed to get out of this world. But because I couldn't do it on that day, I just picked one psychiatrist out of the phone book, drove to the office, walked in. Secretary told me the same thing. He'll see you in 3 months. And I said, no, I'm waiting. And I sat, and I sat, and I sat. And as he was leaving the office, he sees me and he asked me if he could help me. I said, yes, I need you right now. Thank God he didn't turn me away. He brought me in the office, sat down, and I started hysterically crying, trying to explain that I wanted to kill myself. The only thing I remember, and I'm feeling emotional right now, are the words, I will help you. The most amazing words I could have ever heard at that time. I slumped in the chair. I couldn't believe what had just happened, that there was someone that could help me. As I worked with him, he put me on very heavy medications, so heavy that I could barely function. I was already agoraphobic, and the agoraphobia just increased, which means I didn't want to leave my house. The suicidal thoughts went away, but I couldn't sleep. The medications were interacting with each other. I was up 24 hours a day many times, and I thought I was going crazy. He had told me he would only work with me as a psychiatrist if I also worked with a counselor, and he introduced me to this most amazing woman named Ina. And I worked with her sometimes multiple days a week, trying to fight through not just the depression, but the side effects of the drugs that were horrendous. About 8 months into working with Ina, I came in one day and I said to her, the strangest thing happened today. And she said, what's that? And I said, when I woke up, Ina, the birds are back. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, the birds, they came back after the winter. You know, they're back. They're singing outside my doorway. And Ina smiled at me and she said, no, David, we live in Florida. The birds are always here. You came back. It was amazing. And then there was the whole decision we had to make to titrate down on all the drugs I was on because I wanted to get off the drugs so badly. And the psychiatrist agreed with me. After he had heard from Ina that I had noticed and recognized the birds, we set up a plan. And it was about 6 more months before I was off of all medication. When I got off of medication, I learned the power of amino acid therapy, and I switched over and started taking amino acids that I still take today, just to help with slight brain chemistry regulation. I ended up having to get rid of all the drugs and alcohol I was doing. Getting sober was a huge part of it as well. Learning how to deal with my emotions, to share my emotions, to talk about, David Essel doesn't always have to be in a great mood, although I normally am. But behind the scenes with people I was dating, relationships I was in, I had to start being really honest with people. I couldn't stuff my emotions anymore. My codependency of never wanting to rock the boat in relationships, to have people upset with me, even to sit down and have really difficult conversations, I shied away from everything. I was so codependent. I never wanted to rock the boat. I didn't want people upset with me. I wanted people loving me, adoring me, all of this kind of stuff that I built in my head, that if that wasn't happening, there was something wrong with David Essel. Over the years, I've learned now, and one of our biggest courses we teach is on mental health. We teach another incredible course, probably the most popular course is on codependency. And when you're afraid to rock the boat and afraid to be you and afraid to be gay if you're gay, afraid to be trans if you're trans, afraid to tell people you're struggling financially, afraid to tell people you're struggling with your emotions, the more fearful we become, the more codependent we become, and we start to wear a mask. So the outside world sees this, but the inside world is totally different. If you need help in removing the mask, contact me, please. If you don't work with me, please find someone else today, not tomorrow. Everything is healable. This is a message of hope. The website is talkdavid.com. Visit it. See what we offer. I'm in your corner right now. I will help you from wherever you are in the world via phone and Skype. But the most important message is you can make it. Ask for help. Again, I'm David Essel. Very grateful to be here. Talkdavid.com. Have a great day.